it's an image that you will cherish forever. That sweet shot of your parents with your children. A multi-generational photo shoot highlights unique connections between family members, and it's a memory worth making. My next guest says these types of photo sessions will become family heirlooms. I'm with Lexi Fenton now of Lexi Rae Photography. She has 6 tips for getting those photos that capture the magic of generational relationships. It's great to see you, sister. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You know, as I think about life behind our camera, we're constantly capturing the now, like what's happening in front of us. But you say it's important to think beyond.
Yeah, so I want you to be aware of what's happening around you when you're at a photo shoot with grandparents. So grandparents and grandkids are really naturally expressive with each other. So the more you can just observe and even point out, not direct your photographer, but just point out what's happening, you can really just capture some really sweet moments.
So give us some more advice on that, Lexi, because I would be afraid to step into the role of director, but you say when grandma and grandpa are at the photo shoot, and first let's invite them, right? Invite them to that family shoot. Is it okay then? Is it kosher to point out to the photographer, oh, Nana's snuggling there, or I love how Papa's holding her hand? Is that welcome?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it depends on your photographer, but I welcome that, and I may or may not choose to capture it for a variety of reasons,
Yeah.
But I definitely want to be aware. If my back's turned to something and I don't know what's happening, then you know, I'd love to be made aware so I can just at least choose if I want to capture that or not.
We love that shot of grandma and grandpa with the grandkids, and you say parents can help get that shot.
Yes, so a lot of times parents want to help for that shot, and they'll stand several feet away from the photographer. So the best thing you can do is stand right next to your photographer, and that will help it so everybody's actually looking towards the camera rather than having eyeballs in every which way.
So if you're going to quote help, cuddle, get close to your photographer.
Yeah, I always say get uncomfortably close to me, or it just doesn't look good if I have kids looking 3 feet in either direction of me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Little ones, with the little ones and grandparents, how do we get that shot?
So that can be tricky. If grandparents are holding babies, it's really natural for them to want to get them close to the camera, but that actually makes it so they can't see the camera very well. So you want to make sure that they can see the camera without turning their head the wrong direction, like 180 degrees behind them.
Got it.
You want to make sure they can easily see the camera.
Fun idea to include grandma and grandpa in a more nuclear family shoot, but I'm thinking of those extended family shoots. They have to be a little tricky, a lot tricky from a photographer perspective.
Yep.
Any advice for setting those up for success?
Yeah, if you have something specific that you want, the more you can communicate with your photographer ahead of time so they don't plan their normal way they do things, and then at the end you want them to cram in like 5 extra things at the end. Maybe they didn't plan their time accordingly if they don't know ahead of time. So the more you can communicate ahead of time, then they can come really prepared to make sure you get everything you want.
Well, let's be polite. That's not only a time factor, but a pricing factor as well, right? Time is money. This is a job. So laying out what the expectations are of the shoot and how many exact clusters or groups that you want.
Yeah, and also for an enjoyment factor for you, right? The photographer shouldn't want to keep you an hour and a half for a session.
Yeah.
Right? You don't need to keep everyone that long. It gets hard for kids, so.
When I think of a generational photo, I think of like the actual literal 3-generation, 4-generational photo. Those are timeless. Those are treasures.
They really are. And if you have a small extended family, you should absolutely be requesting that shot. It's something that's often overlooked. I did one just this summer with a 4-generation, and that's just really a treasure. But with smaller extended families, it's totally doable. Maybe if you have 40 people, it's going to be harder to get that shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, smaller for sure. Request it.
Great advice, and just seeing the photos you've been able to capture, the treasures you've been able to gift these families, I think is inspiration enough to take the photo. So grandma and grandpa step in front of that camera. Fall is the perfect time to book these kind of photo shoots. How can people connect with you?
So if you just look at LexiRaePhotography.com or on Instagram, Lexi Rae Photography.
All right, we'll link you to both from our website. Lexi, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.